wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah wa kazalikal alhamdulillah. Right? In this presentation, we will explain about perfect competition market by my team, that is Novelin Giska. Say hello please, Novelin Giska.
Hi, I'm Novelin Giska Andini. Thank you.
Santi Fauziah. Felia Shalsabila. Prasetyo Wibowo. And the last, Risya, Annisa, Risya, Syafitri. Right. Now, let's learn about perfect market competition in definition. Perfect competition market is a market in which the number of sellers and buyers, consumer, is very large, and the product or goods offered or sold are similar. A result of an interaction of demand and supply. So the next materi.
Okay, the second material about the perfect market competition is a characteristic. We have 6 characteristics in the perfect market competition, and number 1 is main seller and buyers. The price of the product in the perfect market competition is fixed regardless of the number of price in product. The mechanic of market in economic activity determines the price of product through interaction between supply and demand. And the second is homogeneous good. Homogeneous good, the product in the perfect market companies that fit the perfectly market companies is ideally have one similarities or just one goods in this perfect market competition. And the third is freedom to open and close companies. In the perfect market competition, we learn this is a perfect market. So information calculation is very easy to change. Therefore, easy to need and easy to find companies or information about that. And the third is sellers and buyers have perfect knowledge of the market. Buyers and the sellers acknowledge the price of sold. So the demands and the buyers and the seller know about the price in this market. And then most small companies, and so this in the perfect market competition just have a small companies. You can see a big companies, but it's so few or it's the little in here. And next, in the mobility or movement of economic resources is quite perfect. Okay, next.
Your mic.
The demand curve of perfect market competition. In a positive market, the market demand curve is a downward sloping line, reflecting the fact that as the price of an ordinary good increase, the quantity demand of the good decrease. The demand curve for individual firm is that equal to the equilibrium price of the market. The first is a curve with a horizontal line. This horizontal line occurs to an individual or a company, meaning in a curve with this horizontal line in which there are many key starting from Q1, Q2 onwards, but there are one factor in the market will continue to create a price. The second is curve with a slash. The line runs from the top left to the bottom right and occurs in a manufacturer. Very competitive market may change example the fish market. One fish trader who wants to increase the price will be very unlikely, but if all traders agree to increase the price or lower the price, then there could be a chance improvement, and this is what shows a sloping curve. Next.
Okay, next material explained by me about perfect market competition. The first is firms sold only products at least when variable cost or VC is equal to total revenues or PR, or average variable cost or AVC is equal to price. In B, the company produces when ML or MC so that the company gets the maximum profit, or in a bad condition the loss is minimum or minimum loss. Explain in a perfectly competitive market is the last requirement to obtain the maximum profit or maximum profit, the minimum loss, and break-even point or BIP, or in a state of equilibrium where MR or AR equally large or smaller than the AC. And companies must work as well as possible or doing as well as possible so that the company reaches the most optimal state, now suffering loss in order to replace capital goods used in production. There is no incentive for companies to enter and exit because of zero profit, which is the level of profit that provides the same rate of return. The company cannot increase its profit again when SAC equal to LAC. This is about long and short-term balance. In the next material, we can see about perfect market competition explained by my friend. Here is
Advantage of perfect market competition. Number one is there is no competition in this market because the products sold are homogeneous or similar. In the product market, there is no competition because the products are similar or same between one seller to another. Number two, in a perfectly competitive market, sellers do not need to advertise for promotion. The second advantage of perfect competition market is that the seller doesn't need to carry out promotion or advertise because the product will always be needed by customers. Number three, the price of goods and sold are determined all sellers and buyers simultaneously, and generally price tend to be stable. Number four, price are based on bargaining transaction between sellers and buyers. We can conclude 4. The price occurs because of the bargains between buyers and sellers, and price tend to be stable. Number 5, sellers and buyers act freely in transaction. The buyer is free to buy the goods he wants and from any factory he wants. Number 5, seller and buyers are free to do anything. The buyers free to buy product anywhere. Number 6, able to drive efficiency in production. With a large number of production or sellers, producers will compete to improve the quality over the goods they sell. With many sellers and buyers, sellers must improve product quality to attract buyers.
Thank you. At the list is deficiency, perfect market competition.
Santi, you're me.
Okay, the list is perfect market competition. First, in a perfectly competitive market, there are no funds to carry out research or product development, so that innovation is minimal. Technological progress is limited to perfect competitions market because small companies or company will not be able to work investigations to develop better technology. Such investigations are very often expensive and unbearably small. For example, the radicality of Pertanian generally destroy technology that are not developing at all. Efforts to modernize are always made through investigations and technological development. By the government, the farmers do not have the ability to do. The second is buyers experience limitations in choosing goods or service because the products being sold are the same and have the same quality. Since the products produced by companies are about 100% the same, consumers have limited choice of how much they can consume. In the market for a monopoly in the production of oligopoly, a variety of products are produced by various companies, so there is a greater variety and preference for consumer. A more complete choice led to the satisfactions they acquire. It's more complete than when the available kind of goods are similar. The third is workers tend to receive low wages or salaries. The fourth is often there is an imbalance in the income distribution of each producer, which results in a conflict or justice. A certain feature of income distribution raises a particular pattern of demand in society. The pattern of demand as the allocation of resources. Remember, in market economy requires specific feature of the use of resources.
Yes.
Thank you, Nifsa.
Yes. And now finish our materi. We have your understand about our explanation, and we'll have some question or want to ask to Prasetyo or Santi or Giska. You can fill it in kolom komentar. Okay? Don't forget for subscribe, like, and what again? Ask if you have some question. Until here, we say thank you very much. You have watching our video, and the last we say Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.